The last time I played racing games on the Game Boy Advance, well, no more driving and playing GBA games for me, but now let's play some more racing games. Let's start off by some recommended by the viewers like you.
Thank you.
GT Advanced. GT Advanced was a launch title for the GBA, and it's a street racing game with good gameplay. I like the sprite graphics, and the series actually had some drama with THQ going into a bidding war for the rights to publish the game in North America and in Europe. They also added a password system instead of the battery save from the Japanese version to save cost. The game is fun, and it has over 40 cars. They received an 8 out of 10 from IGN, and THQ brought the battery save back up for the sequels. In the second one, GT Advance 2, Rally Racing, the game is now a rally racing game, so it's racing outdoors and in outside environments. The graphics are better than the first game, and now the menu's UI is much improved. And of course, you can now save your game without using a password. There's also a replay of your match. The replays show different angles of the race, and I'm not gonna lie, the replays are actually kinda good. And another thing from the GT Advance series that is also good is the music. Do not drive actual cars as you would vehicles contained in the game. Oh, now you tell me? GT Advance 3, the third entry in the franchise. This game continues with the second game added, but now it's back to street racing instead of the rally racing. The menu is simpler, but more of a modern look. GT Advance offered plenty of cars in the games with over 90 cars in the game. Here we go, is the best car in the game. The three games are great racing titles on the GBA, and the last one received an 8.5 out of 10 from IGN. But why don't we try out something more arcadey, huh? Hot Wheels Burning Rubber. Now in this game, you play as a tire that goes around and wait, no, actually this is just Hot Wheels. And sure, it might not be the best GBA game graphically, or have good controls. Actually, it's not that good. But for some reason, I kept playing it. I like the charm of the game. For example, the cars in the games are actual Hot Wheels, and I know what you're thinking, of course they are. Okay, but the reason I say it is because I don't really have Hot Wheels that much. They just look like a bunch of random cars in the game. But then I saw this, and I recognized this car. I had this car as a kid, so now I had to try the car out in the game. Is this my car? Close enough. And the game also allows you to tune your cars in the game. The engine, the muffler, and the computer? Refinancing my contract to a lower interest rate? Sure, the game isn't that good, but it has a charm to it, if you like Hot Wheels. Now, what about a motorcycle racing game, you might ask? Well, GP Motor Racer is a game that kind of has pole position vibes, the way the graphics look, and the sound effects. It's simple, but I like the turn radius, and racing with motorcycle means, yep, you can fall off if you turn too hard. The game has professional racers in the game of that era, and the downside is that it uses a password system, so make sure to save your password somewhere before you turn the game off after your playthrough. A game that doesn't use a password system is Top Gear Rally, another rally racing game. Top Gear Rally has full 3D models instead of sprites, and the graphics are really good for the system. In typical rally racing fashion, the game lets me know which turn is coming up, whether it's a big turn or small or a U-turn. So nice of them to give me a heads up. The game sets up championships by breaking them up into several races, and your placement determines how many points you get in each race, and you have to obtain a certain amount to go to the next location or level. This game had good reviews, receiving an 8 out of 10 from IGN, and even won Best Game Award on Australia's Game Developer Awards in 2003. But why don't we switch over to kart racers like Digimon Racing? Gotta catch 'em all. Oh wait, that's a different Mon game. A constant theme you see in these racing games is they have some good tunes. The Digimon game looks like it has potential, and even has voice acting in the character selection. I think I remember this Digimon. Hey, isn't this the new Pokemon game? The gameplay is kinda meh. It's not the best kart racer on the system. It kinda feels slippery, but I like the items and stages. Even though the physics feel slippery, the controls aren't too bad. I did notice a frame drop here or there, but my favorite part of the game was the power-up of the characters. Some parts of the track have parts on the floor that fill up your meter, and your Digimon Digivolves once the meter's filled completely. And you get what I assume is like the character's special. It's basically an extra item. A fun game, but it doesn't control as smooth as the other kart racers. There's even boss battles similar to the balloon battles in Mario Kart, and you attack the bosses using the items. Another kart racer is Crash Nitro Kart. More racing games, more good music. The GBA game was also released on consoles at the time, and Crash Nitro Kart has something the other kart racers don't have, a hub world. Similar to how the main games have a hub world to choose the levels, you drive around and go into the level. Nothing too crazy, but it's a nice touch. The actual gameplay, well, it's as slippery as Digimon, but the controls are slightly better. And another feature in the game that makes it stand out is the drifting. Sure, it's not the perfect game, but the maps and characters are interesting, and the game is fun. It received a 7.8 out of 10 from IGN. The Game Boy Advance had a lot of racing games, a lot of good ones at that. The GT Advance series felt like what Need for Speed games could have been on the system. Top Gear Rally was a nice surprise, and the game's 3D graphics are some of the best in the racing genre of the system. There was plenty of kart racers, rally racing, and street racing. Some more arcadey, and some more towards simulation games. And as for me, well, I'll only play them from the comfort of my seat. Yep, so this time nothing crazy happens. That's it. You're still here? You can go now that the video's over.